All right, what's good? Welcome to another edition of Livewire Sports Media. This is your Sunday edition. So let's talk about Candace Parker. Candace Parker is probably, to me, I think she's been. I like her game. She played for the Tennessee Vols. She was the first ever rookie to have won the Rookie of the Year and the MVP in the WNBA. But when it comes down to her basketball acumen and her thinking process, she gives a very level-head commentary. She doesn't really get into the politics too much. Um, and when it comes down, especially when it's talking about Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, she gives her fair assessment and everything like that. And I just think that at the end of the day, we need that. We need, because I remember one time she talked about, she was sitting down with D Wade and she was talking about how players are so sensitive because when you give a critique on the game, they get bent out of shape about it. And you need somebody to say, hey, I could critique your game, but at the same time, this is what you need to do. So apparently, she sat down with Jemele Hill. I guess Jemele Hill has a new podcast now. It's on YouTube. And she sat down with her and talked about what Caitlin Clark needs to do, this year and how she can improve on this year and everything like that. And what she sees from Caitlin Clark and how she handles things. And a lot of people, they always focus on, when they talk about Caitlin, they always focus on two things: her 3-point shooting, her logo threes, and turnovers. Now, we know Caitlin Clark had a 10 turnover game a while back against the Liberty. And in a 1-point game, they lost. But the previous games from that, she only had she only had 10 turnovers total in 3 games. So that's something that they have to understand, is that turnovers are going to happen. And she even signified that turnovers will happen. It's not nothing you really could think about. So let's listen to what Candace Parker had to say with Jemele Hill. I think it's pretty crucial.
Number of things that Angel can improve on, will improve on in the situation she's in. And I think Caitlin Clark has done that even in her first year in terms of, being able to be that floor general. Her and Aaliyah Boston's connection has really improved. And I think the thing about Caitlin, yes, she can shoot from the logo, but she makes her team better. And so I think just in terms for her, it's going to be moving. What are you doing without the ball in your hands? And I think it's going to be taking care of the ball for her, those two things.
Yeah, because she, I always thought her, as much as she was known for the logo threes and all that, it's her passing with how she can
100%
control the game. Just freakish floor vision. I know she had that 10 turnover game.
Yeah.
But that's something.
That's like a learning. I think all of us young turn the ball over.
She'll get better.
And especially when you're the focal point of the entire defense, you're going to have more turnovers. You're going to have more live ball situations, and the competitive element of you do tend to take chances early on.
Now, did you see that? How Jemele Hill tried to take a slight dig at the 10 turnovers, but Candace Parker was like, nah, these turnovers is going to happen. Because when you're the focal point of your team, the floor general, or you're the focal point of your team, and you're trying to make, that play, that pass, and sometimes your teammates not even ready for it, and they'll turn the ball over, which we saw a whole lot last year with the Indiana Fever with Caitlin when she joined the team. Her teammates wasn't ready for the kind of style she played. They couldn't catch her passes. They were fumbling the ball. They ain't used to that kind of stuff. But then again, later on in the season last year, they started getting it together. Caitlin was making a lot of spectacular passes, a lot of across the court, behind the back, sweet dishes here and there. And then you fast forward this year, she's cleaned it up. But yeah, she had that 1 turnover game, but that was significant because she would have a bad shooting night, and she wanted. And you when you pressing in a game, you tend to make them kind of mistakes because you want to win so bad, or you're trying to beat a team that you want to beat so bad. And I'm glad Candace Parker kind of like shut Jemele down on that, because Jemele Hill, she comes out trying to be like she's all about Caitlin Clark now this year, because we know that her and Cheryl Swoops and and a few others, they was all talking negative. Now this year, the Indiana Fever has improved their team, has a target on their back, had Caitlin Clark's name is in the MVP running, and then the Fevers are into championship contention talk. So now she's trying to switch gears to be more of um you can say a Caitlin Clark apologist. But Candace Parker always been the one to keep it straight, always keep a straight level head, always been the one to say, hey, this is what it is. She understands it because she been in that position before. And see, that's what you need. You need unbiased takes. You don't need race baiting takes. You don't need negativity takes. You need somebody to say, hey, this is what it is. And like when she started out, she said Angel Reese will improve. She said will improve. And she said Caitlin has improved on what she did last year from her rookie season to this year. And see, that's when you talk about somebody that knows the game, they has played the game, they understand it. They can see it they see it. A player sees it totally different than a regular person who never plays sports. See, a journalist will see it from one lens. A player who has played sports see it through two different lenses because they know what it's like to be in that situation. So I'm glad Candace Parker was able to shut Jemele Hill down, clean up that narrative, and been able to give a very clean insight take on what Caitlin Clark has did in her rookie year and transition um into her second year. So to me, I like that. You can't speak too much about Candace Parker. And I think even when she was on First Take, she gave a very clean, unbiased take on the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark. Even TMZ caught up with her and was talking to her about the physicality and stuff like that. And Candace Parker continued to kept the same take in and out and in and out. And that's something that you really have to appreciate when you giving a clean analogy about basketball. So shout out to Candace Parker on that. All right, you guys. So like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about Candace Parker and everything else. Keep the bells ringing anytime I drop a hardcore video. Livewire Sports. And you know what it is. And if you don't know, hey, you don't know.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire. It's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it. So official, like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back. Whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire. Sports and entertainment. Let's go.